there, Max. Playing your Chains of Olympus for God of War. That's amazing. With the old game.
I see you over there, Max, over there just shaking that ass. Just shaking that ass.
Just maxing and relaxing.
Taking those cheeks
all
to the max.
Something, dip your toes in the pool. It's a couple of guys. They're acting all cool. I don't know the rest. People.
Back in the chat in your neighborhood.
Thank you so much.
We got a one little site. Now, Mom's got mad. Now we're doing a chat attack with you guys. I don't know. I have the rest of it. I'm out.
Yikes.
That's the worst version of trailer I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Hey, you got anything better than Miss MC?
I'm going to call Will Smith right now and complain.
He'll probably pick up your call. He's honestly not doing that much.
Yeah, he's really unbusy.
He's still waiting on that. What? Man, fuck it. I'm done. References out there.
Wow. We haven't even started.
Damn, someone just
I put myself on the block and just admit, yeah, my joke is failing at this moment. And y'all just stabbing the shit out of me like a wounded fucking buffalo or some shit.
Why do you refer yourself as a buffalo?
Because
I'm native and I'm trying to keep it original.
No, this is a situation where you took the mic twice and fucked it up. The first time, sure. The second time, it's like, okay, you're not allowed with the mic anymore.
Hey, next time I grab the mic and just start yelling.
You probably, well, actually, that's what I do. Why are you trying to steal my fucking bit for? But here's the thing, people. It's an unnecessary gaming show. We're over here to talk with you guys. It's episode 9. We're about to hit episode 10 fucking next week. I'm really hyped that we actually made it this far. I thought I would have done this episode like MCA Plus, and then would have just been like, oh, 5 episodes, we're done. That's our season finale.
5? That's rich.
Okay, Mr. Motherfucker can't count. There's 5 of them on the goddamn YouTube page, you son of a bitch.
Watch it, we cut to it and it's 4.
Fuck you. It probably is 4, but it doesn't matter. That's not even the point.
Dude, you had so many names to so many shows that just went nowhere, like MCA Gold, 8-bit bullshit.
We never even did MCA Gold.
Those are premium services. Like, there's way more episodes of those. You just got to pay for them.
Exactly. There you go. They're hidden somewhere. Just someone bought them.
Yeah, sure they are. They're called your recycling bin.
By the way, MCA Gold never happened, so that's how much attention you pay to our shit.
Yo,
never happened? I'm pretty sure it happened, honestly.
I didn't think I was gonna be able to talk, so I took a big old swig of fucking water, and Alan's like, "Oh, well, since he's fucking drinking and you can't fucking speak, maybe I'll just stop and have him respond. I'm drinking."
Like I don't give a shit.
No, here's the thing, though, Alan. I want to drink that shirt. Looks so fucking delicious, Mr. Aquafino over here. By the way, what is your favorite kind of water?
Compliments.
Wow.
I don't care. I just look at a bottle. If it says water,
he gets insulted so much he has to drink his compliments from a fucking plastic bottle. Like, that's really bad.
Yeah, how does the universe just sets me up for stupid bullshit?
Every time Alan looks in the bottle, it says, "You look good today." Oh.
Oh, like, and then he chokes.
Like I said, because I have a bunch of fucking water bottles next to my fucking desk. I don't give a shit. As long as it's water, as long as it's chemically water, I'll drink it.
Alan's over here drowning in compliments.
Exactly. People, you guys gotta tell us what is your favorite fucking water. Cause
I can't fucking believe how the universe likes to fuck with me.
I know. That's really, honestly, dude, that's the universe making a joke out of you. Julian's over here in the chat and on YouTube saying, "Oh shit, you haven't told the rules yet." No, actually, we're not gonna be. Oh well, we are gonna have somebody on the show, and that's the person I'm talking about right there, Julian, Mr. Him and Dingleberries. You were gonna be on the show talking about Ape Out or Out 8. What the fuck is that shit called?
Ape.
Yeah, no, not Ape Escape. We ain't doing that.
I called that by accident. Like, oh shit, we're doing a review of Ape Escape.
Yeah, well, no, I'm pretty sure that's gonna be remastered at some point, like Crash.
Oh god, I hope so.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, for the 5 people that enjoyed it.
Man, I'll fuck you up.
Why you always gotta be Ron? Like,
hey, I'm just saying it's a cult classic that not a lot of people got to enjoy.
It's not a cult classic. It was a mainstream hit. Allie had it for her PSP.
That doesn't mean anything. Allie's never had a PSP.
Nothing but mainstream pretty games.
Dude, didn't you go crazy about Shadow of Mordor like last year? Just constantly playing it when that show was already old. No one gave a fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you talking? What's that to do with anything?
Because no one cares. That shit lasted a month and it was gone. And it was dead.
What are you talking about? Everyone talked about that shit for months. What are you? You're just making shit up because I said some stupid shit.
Okay. I mean, I can't disagree with that.
Just make things up.
I like to make things up. Here's the thing, though. YouTube chat's actually kind of kicking ass. You guys saying a lot of stuff. We're going to go to whatever the chat's talking the most and having as much fun. But yeah, tap water, Julian. That shit's fucking disgusting. I don't know how you... Well, I guess it depends. If you have like the reverse osmosis shit, I don't know if you ever like tried that, like at some dude's house, whatever before.
Well, I go to Planet Fitness and they have this like whole sweat like setup like filtration system.
Sweat up?
The sweat bottle.
It's just sweatiest setup, all right. But it's really good and it has a lot of filtration system. So when you grab it, it actually tastes like bottled water. It actually tastes way better. So that's considered tap. That's to a certain degree because it's cooked up to a main line. But like just straight like random water fountain out there in the park, man, you're risking a good infection or cold to doing that.
Yeah.
No, I live in a country where we actually take care of our water source. So,
oh my God, can you stop talking about your fucking possibly racist ass country? Like
possibly racist ass country, as opposed to your definitely racist ass country.
Hey, Alan, don't make me call your daddies to get you in line.
Yeah.
Why don't you go fuck yourself?
Yes,
don't make me call the bank.
People keep a counter.
I'll call them.
Don't make me call the IRS.
People keep a counter. Yeah, you better put that shit down. No, people put a counter.
By the way, why do you have a fucking Union Cross flag on your desk?
Because I gotta keep my Canadian in line.
No, why would you have that?
You guys notice how Alan keeps trying to make sure?
I mean, I got my Palestinian flag ready for when Julian comes on.
2 times already today, Alan. You've been wrong, and it's only been literally 2 minutes. So I'm keeping a counter up. I'm gonna be fucking with you after the show because already twice with the ape escape thing, and then the compliments thing with your fucking water, and then talking about the conservative fucking whatever the fuck that thing is that Ganjo's holding. What's it called?
If you're really as bad as counting as I think you are, because you said I'm counting 2 and then listed 3 things.
Yeah, but I started remembering other shit. I was remembering other shit because you're so wrong so often. I actually lose count that fast.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm sure I'll be fine. You're gonna overcount, and we'll have like actual proof that you fucked
And
up.
by the way, too, as I said that, I actually made a mistake, but you're too busy fighting. I said conservative instead of Confederate. That was my internet. I was fucking up. That wasn't me. Anyways, I'm getting the fuck out of whatever the hell is going on here. But thanks, guys, for watching the chat and everything, too. If you guys want to get on the show, you guys can, because for once, and we haven't done this in a long time, but for once, we're actually going to talk about the motherfucking rules. Now, Ganja, I know you don't got those rules up. I know you don't.
I do got those rules up. Because, like, rule number 1, newcomers join the call first. Maybe those new, fresh smelling faces people haven't seen in a while, or people haven't heard the rules in a while. So if you're coming on, talking to us, hanging with us, just make sure to hang out and follow the goddamn rules, and we bring the new people on first. Rule number 2, do not talk over each other.
It's been so long since we've done this.
Or just yell, rant, or call people stupid, because it just ruins audio quality and just starts arguments that go on longer than necessary, and y'all just spent your point on for like another 30 minutes, and nobody cares. So please, do not talk over each other. Rule number please. Rule number please. Damn.
Rule number please.
Rule number please. 3, no nudity. Please, don't do it. Keep the titties, the genitals, all to yourself, because on Twitch, any kind of web stream service now that we use, you got to keep that nudity on the proper website. So make sure to keep it to yourself. Rule number 4, do not give anyone else the link. We have a planned show. Believe it or not, including the ways I do these rules, I wouldn't believe myself, but we do plan the shows out. So you hand out the link, you're gone, and so is a dumbass that clicked here. Rule number 5, read the rules, and Alan.
Don't be a dick.
What? Why did that take so long?
I forgot because I thought he was going to throw it to Allie, and then I thought he was going to throw it to Jet, and I forgot.
Allie's not here.
I know.
I mean, I would have gone with don't be a penis.
don't be a wiener schnitzel. Here's the thing: Voss is delicious. Smart water is delicious too. But
Smart water is the fucking. Oh my god! I've never seen a product that makes you feel like an idiot for buying it.
Here's the thing, though: why the fuck all of you guys in this chat did not bring up Aquafina? Jet, you go first. Explain yourself.
Aquafina sucks.
What?
You're not Jet, bitch.
I was already saying that before the sentence. Sound travels, different wavelengths and all that shit.
Yeah, I was trying to get through your shirt first. Anyway. Jet, explain yourself. Why don't you like Aquafina? Why didn't you bring that up? God damn it!
God damn it! Let's put y'all on the pauses. This is a podcast. We need audio content and content.
I would have answered, but somebody yelled at me.
I'm yelling at both of you.
Alan, you did answer, and you still didn't even give a fucking answer.
I did give an answer. It sucks.
It sucks. Thank you so much.
All y'all getting paddled after this. What's the tongue line?
Concha, he literally did a Tony Lip from Green Book. I felt like fucking
I can't tell if
See,
you
that's
fucked
how
up
you
or
two do it, alright? You never leave no dead space.
Oh, no, yeah, it's like you sound like you two Chuckle Brothers. I don't want to deal with that shit.
I was trying to say Mahershala Ali, goddammit.
Wow, holy shit. So you just had the beatbox instead?
Yeah. There's a part where he's at the fucking dinner table, and he's like, what do you think about this, Tony? And Tony goes, it's a little wet, or it's a little dry, whatever the fuck. It's like, wow, thank you. You should be a fucking reviewer for food. Like, you're terrible. And like Alan totally did a Tony Lip, which by the way, everyone likes him, so that's a compliment, I guess. So you don't have to drink that one. Anyways, I'm really curious as to how his fucking water tastes. The fact that they called it compliments, it's like that's a little cocky. I think it's probably pretty delicious. I'll definitely give that a shot.
I don't know, like like again, Roxanne and the fucking Taz, the water does taste different from different places, and Aquafina's just always been one of the ones that was like, this is more expensive than the average brand, and it's really not that fucking worth it.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like it's water. Like the real difference in taste isn't the actual composition itself; it's all the extra random bullshit they put in. So I'm just like, fuck it. I don't really give a fuck about the, smart water. We just added a bunch of electrolytes into this fucking system, but we put it at such a high concentration that your body's not actually going to be able to absorb it all, and you're just going to piss it out.
Wait, is that a bad thing, though? I'm actually legitimately curious.
Well, it's not a bad thing per se. It won't hurt you, but it's completely useless. That's why buying those, like, minerals or buying those vitamins are really just honestly not worth it, because your body can only absorb so much at any given time. The rest of it just gets urinated out. So this smart water that you're spending your money on, when you just go get something that's basically equivalent for like a third of the fucking price, who's the smart person now?
Yeah.
Like, I fucking hate that shit. Like, overly expensive water is the most bougie thing in the world.
I'm a fan of Fiji. I've always been a fan of it. I don't know why.
Fiji's some bullshit. Read the back of that shit. Did they take from a glacier? It's fucking water.
Yeah, it's just, I know it's the bullshit. It's all advertising, but I like the way it tastes. It's just, some good agua.
Yeah, again, it's fucking water. It's
I'm trying to get some ad money, so Aquafina, support the chat by Aquafina.
If you read the actual ingredients of the water, which holy shit, it blows my mind. There's a fucking nutrition facts to water.
You know what's funny though, dude? Can you imagine, like, when we start getting sponsors?
Holy shit, there is.
Yeah, read the nutrition facts to water. Fat, zero.
In there?
Carbohydrates, zero.
I just want to apologize to every other potential sponsor we have. Please allow just me and Ganja to sell our souls, because Alan's over here is gonna be like, yeah, Reese's, fuck them sponsoring us. That shit's bad for you.
Reese's is my favorite.
I'm reading that the mixture and how to properly make it and shit, and just hand that out.
I wish I had some Reese's cups right now. Are you serious? Reese's is my favorite fucking chocolate. I wish I had some fucking right now. Are you serious?
I'm just saying though, you are that guy that would totally fuck
with water. Like the idea that who in there? Ganja didn't even know that there were nutrition facts on the back of water, because who's gonna sit there and go, I wonder if water's healthy?
I'm actually gonna read it out to you real quick, because apparently this has more shit than what you were naming off. It was not even about calories. This bitch got silica in it, calcium, magnesium.
That's silica, same shit in the sand.
The pH is balanced at 7.7, but I've been drinking off this for a minute.
So it's water. Water's supposed to be like, I'm not gonna go into the pH, but all the extra shit you did is extra bullshit that just comes as a result of the processing and extra shit they put into. That's what affects the taste. Water does not have a taste.
It says this says bottled in Georgia. I don't know how I feel about that.
Oh,
the point is, the taste of water comes from all the extra bullshit they come into. So buying smart water is a waste of your fucking money. Buy regular water. Like, there's the most bougie shit in the world spending like extra money on water.
I disagree with him. There's a big taste and difference. This man has no taste, as a parent with his fucking video game talks.
I never said water. Water itself doesn't have a taste. The taste comes from the extra bullshit they put into it.
Yeah, I know, but okay, like, so let me ask you this: for taste and also health, a big combination of the two, would you say I should just get Dr. Pepper or an Aquafina water bottle?
What?
Exactly, because you're not going to get the soda, because even though Aquafina might not be the healthiest for you, you're probably going to drink the shit that has less calories and it's not going to fuck you up and have you piss out fucking rocks and shit.
Why you compare? I thought you were going to compare two different water bottle companies, where I'm like, okay, that just depends on your opinion.
All water tastes the same.
No, it does not. Are you shitting me?
Does.
No, because the thing is,
then why the fuck do they have 10 different? Why do they have 10 different fucking waters then?
They're basically just selling the goddamn package.
Okay, she's not wrong, but as what Ganja read out on the fucking Fiji bottle, that for some fucking reason that's silica. You want to know what silica is? Silica is the shit that's made of the fucking sand on the beach. That's composed of silica. Your body can't absorb that. It's just in there because it sounds pretty.
By the way, I thought it was Silesia this whole time. When we were playing Ark, I keep calling it Silesia pearls. It's actually silica pearls.
Sorry. Sorry, what?
An Ark.
Silesia?
Yeah. What's spelled that way? Why, fuck you.
Silesia? That sounds like someone's name, man. I think I'm gonna name, like, call my buddy, yo, man, your daughter, you should name her Silesia. Why?
Make a fucked up joke, but I'm not gonna make, because
you shouldn't.
Who will judge me for it?
Here's the thing.
Any fucking way. The extra shit we're talking about, the silica or silicia, whatever the fuck you're calling it, that's the stuff that gives water taste. So the different water companies that everyone's fucking doing is, one, for branding, and two, they just put in extra fucking bullshit so that it tastes slightly different, so that bougie people go, well, you know, the composition of this water, it's like, no, it's all the same fucking shit.
No, but that little bit changes it, you fuck. Like,
It
what
doesn't
the hell?
matter, though, is what I'm telling you.
How do you
It
choose
doesn't
between
matter.
Coke and Pepsi when they're the same fucking thing?
They are the same fucking thing.
Oh, you said you didn't like Pepsi, you son of a bitch.
I don't give a fuck. I'll drink whatever the fuck's available and cheapest.
Oh, people, he's
You're thinking of God, you spend $7
you
on
guys
fucking
remember
Coke.
this. This man talked
Don't
about
throw me on the bus because you over here siding with Pepsi.
The only fucking reason I don't argue this shit is because everyone in the after hours thinks they're a wine connoisseur and says, oh, well, I can taste the difference between, you know, Coke and Pepsi. Fuck you, you're a lying bitch.
they build entire franchises
That one I
around
actually
it.
can't, because like the difference between Coke and Pepsi is basically you can leave out Coke for like a little bit longer than you can leave out Pepsi. Pepsi you can a certain amount of time. Coke you can.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is like, dude, they build entire franchises around these different flavors. It's like, you gotta admit, somehow, some way, there is actually a legitimate
No,
different taste.
it's the Halo killer versus the fucking Halo games. You have the popular ass brand that the popular ass thing that everyone's creating, and then all the other people. What do you think? There's so many knockoff brands that have to try to change the flavor up a slightly bit, but are still basically the same shit, so that they can just sell it as legally distinct. You're falling for the advertisement, man.
I never thought we'd make it to this point where I'm like, he's wrong about fucking water.
No, because you're sitting there going, oh man,
God.
that's silica in there. That's totally a game changer. It's just fucking water. Your body's not absorbing half the shit they put into it.
Alan, I'm not gonna do this today, but one of these days when I have a lot of extra time, I'm gonna show you the nutritional facts, and I'll read
Of
them
water.
to your dumb ass.
I
And then
can
you'll
read
see
you the
there's a
nutrition
huge
facts of
difference.
water again if you want.
Brother, why do you think people are buying the Fiji bottles that are more than
Because
$3?
people buy shit people like to spend money on stupid shit they don't need.
Ganja!
Yeah.
Fuck!
Ganja's a shining example of buying stupid shit you don't need.
I know,
You
but
know whether
that-
most
that's
people
what's
people
so
buy
insulting
stupid shit
about
because of a
this.
brand.
That's what's so crazy. He's like, Ganja buys shit that's free, and he's still smarter than you right now. Like,
Yeah.
goddamn.
You're falling for the fucking brands that they just slap a fucking thing onto water and oh well they're completely fucking different because this one says Fiji and this one says Aquafina. Oh no, there's a percentage of this fucking random element. I don't fucking know what it's called or even how to pronounce it half the fucking time.
Yeah, it's okay. So here's the thing, y'all.
Oh my.
Anthem's breaking consoles.
Well, try pouring water on it. It might
I
help.
wonder when this is going to come back to being a video game show.
Yeah. I'm tired. I'm tired, y'all. No,
Drink
look.
the water.
Oh man, fuck you.
No, the game we're playing has to do with a lot of water, a lot of hydrogen, oxygen.
Man, here's the thing. I gotta restart that bit. Fuck. Okay, Anthem, y'all. As opposed to this conversation being bricked by this fucking water conversation, Anthem is bricking consoles all over the goddamn place, just like lots of video games do. Alan, you wrong son of a bitch, you. How many times?
Yeah,
this
lots
happened?
of video games
Yeah, like a lot of them. Like
Like-
Assassin's Creed every fucking 2 years.
Assassin's Creed has never bricked a console.
Oh bullshit.
Look it up.
They're not. Well, okay.
I
Yeah,
have
but
bought
they're-
every Assassin's
They're
Creed
not.
on every
But
console
they're not.
imaginable.
They're not gonna equate. Just never mind. I don't even want to explain
Fallout
that bit.
76 has
If
its brick
something breaks,
consoles.
it cannot. Sometimes it could be a whole thing where like lots of games and lots of years on a console ends up making a break. I'm just saying Anthem's pushing it that far because my whole argument about this was going to be that yeah, I don't actually think it's Anthem breaking consoles. I think it's that consoles have so much fucking crazy games going into them that are not done yet. So they do all this patchwork that most of your day the console's on, you're not even fucking playing it. So when you play it for past the 18th hour mark that's been on, it's fucking overheating because these things aren't made right. That's what's fucking breaking the console, not the game. That's what I was basically saying. And in that sense, sir, this has been happening fucking constantly. How many times
That's
do people
the
get the
thing.
blue light of fucking... Even with 360, how many times did the red ring of fucking death happen?
See, that's the thing. That's an interesting point you're actually bringing up, which I didn't think you'd actually go to, is the idea that the systems themselves are actually causing problems. The problem is with that is you're comparing two different architectures of the 360 versus the PS4. The 360 was built wrong. There's nobody that will ever say the 360 was built fine. That was actually built improper. But it was built improper not so much that it was built faulty, it was that it wasn't built to handle the capabilities of the rest of the parts around it, as some parts were made cheaper. That's actually not the situation that actually happens on the PS4, because I have a Slim, but the only reason I upgraded is just because I was able to get a good deal on it. I think I had the regular PS4 for 3.5 years, without a single problem, because the architecture was built right. And I played many games, including when you love to bring up the fuck with me, Assassin's Creed. I bring up a bunch of games, even Monster Hunter I played before I even got a new one, and that's a super intensive fucking game. Sure, I didn't play Anthem on an older PS4. But I think that a lot of situations happen is it's not consistent. It's how you got to look at how it is consistent. This is consistently bricking PS4s in a small enough time frame. So this is a situation where these people are playing their consoles for 15, 20 hours. It's causing a lot of issues where it's unoptimized. It's unoptimized for consoles, which is something you don't see a lot. You see that in very few console games where it's like, oh, no, this is a legit problem. Not that the frames are bad or, the game kind of crashes and goes desktop. It's like, no. The actual system cannot handle whatever's going on in the background due to unoptimization, which happens more so on PC, which we see that shit crashing PCs all the goddamn time. We see PC crashes every fucking day. But console crashes, that's a huge fucking deal. That's why this is a fucking news story.
Yeah, and by the way, wasn't called 360. Ganja, you lost 360s?
Yeah, just that fucking Red Ring of Death bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what the fuck was going on. I don't know if it was a case of like I had bought faulty Xboxes. I think that was the case with the first one. I think I got one of the bad batches that was Notorious when they first got released, and that just my console ended up killing itself. It was weird. You guys ever had like a moment with a machine that had fixes that it was the most ghetto's way to fix it?
Oh, fuck yeah.
So apparently to avoid the Red Ring of Death, I would have to punch the Xbox a certain way.
Are you fucking serious?
I'm not fucking around. I used to prop it up against my because I used to have a big ass not a desktop but a dresser drawer. So and I used to put my TV and my consoles up there, and I should just sit right there between my bed, kind of like what I'm doing right now. And I used to just face the opposite and play the game. So when that shit, I felt like it was about to do Red Ring. I just hit it real quick, bah! And for some reason, that shit, it would just keep working. Sometimes I would hit it during a Red Ring, and it would get back to working again.
Oh, it's probably because you adjusted. You probably through that hit. It's like the. You probably just adjusted some bullshit. It's like the whole blowing into a cartridge that never actually worked. But what it was the antennas would die, and you putting it back in after the fact, put it into a different place, was able to connect. Like the only thing I ever had was with the video cord, where I had to like prop it up with a bunch of games to get on the right angle for it to fucking work.
It's funny because I actually have a
did
picture
that with my PlayStation 2 too.
I actually have a picture of Ganja's 360. It's actually right here.
Oh, is that
Completely sucked the fuck
No, my
out of
PlayStation 2, I had to do that to it as well because it was back when the thing used to break. So it used to spin, but it never actually put the disc on, so it never read it.
Oh, the laser died.
So basically what I used to do is I used to go, all right, I'm going to put this disc in, bah! And knock it on his head like a weasel. And it would just start working.
Wow. Okay, sure.
I had a Red Ring of Death. This was the last Xbox 360 I think I had for a long time. No, until I got the Elite, which still works actually to this day. Trey has it. But what happened was the console prior to it, it had the Red Ring of Death, and the only thing I knew about the Red Ring of Death is that it was an overheating problem because the heatsink was too small for the system, so it just caused the entire thing to fucking boil. So I did the dumbest thing I could think of. I put it in the freezer.
God
What?
damn. Okay, why?
I put it in the freezer for like an hour.
Why? Okay.
And it worked. After I took it out, it worked. But the problem is it only worked for 2 more months before it died, and when I went to get it fixed, the guy goes, dude, I've never seen a motherboard this warped. What happened? Did you put it in a freezer? And the heating it and cooling it down so rapidly warped the GPU so much that it eventually just snapped and broke.
Okay, holy shit.
The solutions that you and Gandhi came up with was beat the shit out of your Xbox 360 till it works, and basically put it in the freezer till it turns into a fucking popsicle.
Yeah.
We were kids, and the internet was like just happening. So even if you
I
look it
didn't
up,
have the internet till I was like 15, bro.
yeah, and it's like, ew, look it up. Oh, you got to take the whole thing apart. And it's like, shit, even if I could take it apart, I don't have the tools to deal with. So I'd have to go out and find somebody that knows how to fucking work it and spend $50 that I don't have because I'm a fucking like 12-year-old and don't really have access to fucking money and go, shit, what am I going to do? Okay, it's an overheating problem and I'll put it in the fucking freezer because it's going to cool it down the fastest. And I want to play it at some fucking point. It fucking worked. It's just the problem is it warped the GPU because I froze it too fucking fast. I put video game consoles in the fridge. It wouldn't have froze it down fast enough. It might have made it live a little longer though, but it wouldn't have frozen it down fast enough.
It would make such a good MythBusters fucking episode, having him in that episode playing his fucking console in the freezer with this picture, Red Ring to Death. Like, I don't know.
Do you remember the actual solution? I don't know if Ganja remembers this. One of the solutions was wrap your fucking system in a towel and overheat it till it worked.
Yep.
What?
It was called the towel trick. I never did it because I thought that was fucking stupid. But it's like apparently what it was a problem with the clamps. So you'd wrap up the 360, you would heat it up, and then the clamps would like bend and melt and fix, and it would fix your system. And I was like,
wow.
Yeah, overheating's a problem, so let me let my fucking system on fire. Like I always thought it was the dumbest thing in the world, but people said it worked.
Wow, yeah, and people like this is the shit that people used to go through with just a generation, before us. Yeah. So now we're in a situation too where the consoles are doing this, and it all happened unfortunately around the time Anthem came out. Now, Jack, I'm gonna ask you: do you feel like this is Anthem's fault? Do you think that the game is doing this, or do you think what I feel? Yeah. Really, are you saying that because you just hate that fucking game because there's lots of things wrong with it, which I do agree with too? But what is it? Which one of those?
I had a scare a couple of days ago because I actually did think that Anthem broke my fucking game. The thing is, like, we just got done playing it all together. I go to sleep, right? Mm-hmm. And then I wake up. My shit's not coming on. I'm just like, okay, I'm pressing a thing on the controller. I'm, like, pressing, like, the power button. What's going on here? And my shit's, like, blinking. I'm just like, oh, this motherfucking thing, this motherfucking game better not have just broke my fucking PlayStation 4. I was about to lose it until, like, basically they're just like, oh, like, both you and Alan were just like, okay, just unplug it and everything will be fine, maybe. If not, then I don't know. You probably got, like, I don't know what it's fucking called, but the equivalent of the fucking Red Ring of Death or some shit.
Yeah, blue light.
Is it a blue light?
Blue light of death.
Actually, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's always whatever the fuck they want to just call it of death. It's like, the pink horizontal line of death. Like, it's like, Jesus Christ.
It was on the PlayStation 4.
The flashy, blinky thing of death.
What was it on the PS4? Was it the yellow light of death
yellow
or
light
something?
Of death. Yeah. I mean, it's indicative of whatever's showing up in the front of your fucking console. Like, I guess on PS4 Slim, I guess you would call it, like, the light gray, slightly blue light of death. I don't know.
It was whatever light indicated this fucking thing is dead, but... Yeah, like with the PS4, it's like I've never had an actual legit console problem with it. The thing with Jet's like, yeah, sometimes you just gotta unplug it, and it's like I've had a few of those scares. The only real issue I ever had, and that was just basically the equivalent of a virus going around, was the whole save game glitch, where people were just messaging out kill codes that would just fuck over your system. That the only way you can fix it is by resetting it. Like, we're in a situation right now where the consoles have kind of built under the PC architecture. So if there are problems, you don't have to sit there and send it to fucking Microsoft or Sony, pay $300 to fix your fucking system. It's like, unless it's a severe hardware problem, you can generally fix it yourself.
Yeah, which is, I won't even recommend that usually, because then you have to end up, accidentally breaking something else and you get paid double whatever the fuck
or fucking voiding the warranty, and they will never forgive you for that.
No, I don't mean opening it. I mean, you could generally, like, software fix a problem, unless it's like, oh shit, something broke inside your system because you dropped it. But if it's a situation where your thing doesn't turn on, you can generally fix the problem. It's going to take some time. There's a lot of internet and either Sony or YouTube that'll walk you through. There's that problem where your system. With the bricking, though, I think that might be a situation where, yeah, because people are getting refunded because of that as a result. So it's like, that's what I'm saying. It's not a PS4 problem if they're refunding it. It's not a situation where, oh, they ran their systems too hot. It's a problem with the coding of the game that's causing a glitch with the system to just shut it down.
Yeah, but like the one thing I want to discuss too about this as well is that this is not the only thing happening with Anthem that's fucking bad. Once again, and I've been using this a lot for especially this show, and it's almost like fucking bragging at this point, but I feel like it gives me some kind of like oomph to whatever I'm about to say. But I do work at a game store. This game's been out for 2 fucking weeks. Guess how much it is, Alan? American money wise.
50?
Nope, $48, sir. Can't even make it to the 50. Just like with Fallout 76, after 3 weeks, it was $37. Yeah, this is 48.
Okay,
unbelievable.
I was looking up that, and when I was looking up, it obviously said American issue because y'all get all the fucking cheap shit. But I also saw that it was like only specific places like Amazon and Best Buy. Is this everywhere? Because I wasn't seeing that on the PlayStation Store in America.
In GameStop over here in Phoenix, and as well as my game store and other places, we all use the same system, and it's actually eBay prices too, believe it or not. Because sometimes these manufacturers will sell their shit on eBay for like a discounted price, but it's only like by $5. If you get the pre-owned, then it's like $1 off. But yeah, basically $48 everywhere you see, even at GameStop. And it's like, damn, when GameStop puts a price down on something, it's like, yeah, that means it's fucking shit. And I gotta tell you, Alan, we had fun. Me, you, and Jet were on there having a blast. I mean, and I loved it, but it's like, I'm telling you, this shit with the patches, man, and people keep fucking talking about, oh, well, you're mad that they keep fixing the game as you play. I'm like, yeah, I am mad, because even if you're going to support the game, I want a game that doesn't need your fucking support. You know what never needed anybody's support? The original Doom games, the original Mario games, the original Zeldas, the original Call of Duties. Didn't need no fucking support. Now everything needs support, damn near life support as soon as it comes out. I'm still trying to play Anthem and get kicked out the fucking main menu, Alan. Like,
yeah, that's the thing. I'm looking at it as because there's a lot of things you talked about in your argument that I'm just gonna stick on the Anthem thing because that's an entire show we can talk about. But that's why I was asking specifically those questions, because it seems like only the physical copies are actually doing that, because this is a company, EA, that exclusively wants to make everything digital because they want to make a majority of the money. It might just be a situation in which people are just buying the digital copy so much that they're just not buying the physical as much as they were. Because like this isn't as like, honestly, as bad as what's happening with Anthem. This is like Fallout 76 wishes it was Anthem right now, with the amount of problems that Fallout 76 is currently fucking having. Like that there has not been a single week since Fallout 76's release that has not had an issue. Where Anthem, it's like, yeah, it's had issues, but it's like, okay, there's some server problems and the breaking the PS4. Like, those are two big issues. Where the fucking Fallout 76, at least Anthem isn't giving away people's fucking like addresses to their houses and shit.
Yeah,
like,
no shit.
Yeah,
But,
like right now, Jump Force and like they're happy they're not Fallout 76.
Everyone's happy about Fallout 76. But the other thing about patches is it's actually a really interesting thing. You brought up older games versus newer games. There's so much that goes into video games nowadays that never went into games back in the day, that it's like, it's such an interesting thing you actually break down, because it's not as simple as like, well, this worked in the past, why doesn't this work now? There's so much that goes into. There's so many when it comes to the teams, licenses, how games are actually even developed differently now than side scrollers ever were. That there's so many things that different, that games are basically as games are being made, other parts of the games are being made in different times. And that's why, again, games take a while. Like back in the day, there's so many people making games that you can make a decent platformer in about a year because you just dealt with what you had. Nowadays, to make something even like Anthem takes 3-4 years, but there's so many people making so many different parts that sometimes the parts don't always work together. A lot of games need patches nowadays because parts are finished at different times. It's like if Ganja's writing the story, I'm working on the flying, and Nick's working on the quest lines, we're 3 people doing 3 different things, which means we're going to have 3 different problems. A lot of games nowadays get tested. They get tested to make sure that the games run. So when you have something like Battlefield 1, for instance, when that came out, there was no problems, but that game was being patched every week. Why was it being patched? Well, they're figuring out how people are using stuff. They're changing things up. They're optimizing. They're fixing it as it goes along. But that game came out, and it was fine. Anthem doesn't have that problem. Anthem has a bigger problem of it shouldn't have been released when it should have been released. This game should have been released in November, and I think it would have been fine. It still would have been patched because that's the nature of games nowadays. But the issues it's having right now is because it was really rushed.
I'm going to ask you, Jet, at this point, with so many issues that has happened with this game, as well as just how much fun you've had with it too, with me and Alan, because I'm sure you had fun, even though you're going to say, oh, I didn't, I fucking hate you guys. But is this game redeemable at this point? Do you feel like, okay, no more issues after today? Is this a good game? Or you're at a point now where, no, fuck this shit?
I mean, I fucking hate this game. I fucking hate you guys. So.
I'm full of shit. No, she was screaming, missiles! Ah! Just fucking screaming while we're beating up the fucking boss of the Titans.
But, I mean, honestly, this game still isn't good. Even with all the patches and whatnot, there's still so many fucking problems with it. And playing it alone by yourself is so fucking boring. I've tried. The story isn't good. Like, the fucking shop isn't good. Customization is fine. But it's just like, the guns aren't good. Characters are meh. It's just like, unless you're actually playing with friends, like, this is not a good purchase.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm having a great time with it. And it's like, even if it is one of those things where you need to have fun with friends, it's like, yeah, well, that's how World of Warcraft was, man. I'm pretty sure no one's playing World of Warcraft and fucking playing by themselves and having a grand old time.
It's funny because, like, I kind of agree with Jed. I don't think that any game... If you say a game is fun with friends, it's like, I don't care what the fuck you're doing. The entire After Hours is built on the basis that we're watching garbage movies because it's way more fun to watch garbage movies with your fucking friends than to watch it by yourself. So the idea that something's more fun with your friends, well, of course it fucking is. There's very few things that are less fun with more people around. But I played it a lot by myself, actually, before y'all were, and I got ahead, and it's like, I was always kind of meh, but then playing it with y'all, I'm like, this is actually way more fun. There's way more going on, and I'm dying way less. I'm having a way better time, but the story is still kind of meh. And I think that's the biggest problem with this is the story is just not that fucking interesting. So it's like, that's why you're not seeing so many people defend it or rushing to buy it, because even though that the game is not doing Fallout 76 shit, it's not doing anything good either.
Yeah, and I guess you're right. It's just I don't want to like hate on whatever the fuck the new thing is, because this time last year I was really amazed with like I was only watching Dragon Ball FighterZ gameplay. I hadn't played it yet, but I was like, holy shit, that's amazing. Monster Hunter World was one of my favorite fucking games. Like still to this day, it's like one of my favorites. There's so much shit coming out too. I mean, we were still hyped at that time, Alan, for Marvel Spider-Man. You know what I mean? And now look at this year, and my hope.
And I enjoyed the fuck out of it.
No,
I beat it twice.
Over and over again.
But it's like
once because I wanted to, once because I had to.
No, but like now we're at this point too where, you know, it's March. It's literally a year and 1 month away, or you know, after such a great month last year, and we got garbage for February. I mean, February's been a horrible month for gaming this year. And it was the best month last year. So it's like,
I'm actually.
Let's be honest there.
I disagree for maybe console game, but in terms of PC, a lot of bangers came out this month.
Oh, really?
What
okay.
RTS is?
Yeah, you have Dawn of Man, which is a simulator in terms of prehistoric. You know, it's the RTS. Yeah, that's my thing. Like, if you want to just look at what games are coming out in the mainstream, or actually be a real game journalist and look at everything, Alan, then yeah, you're gonna appreciate that some games that came out that were really good this February.
Yeah, but I like fucking with you.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't have to fuck with me. The games fuck with you enough.
No. The funny thing is, I kind of agree on. Like, I'm saying this to myself, like, because I didn't want to fucking give Nick any sort of win in any way, shape, or form. I have not enjoyed a single game that's come out in the last 3 months.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
Like, there's not a single game that I bought. Like, I'm buying. What was it? I hope that I'm enjoying Devil May Cry 5. I really hope that I fucking enjoy it, but I don't fucking know. I enjoyed the demo. What else is fucking coming out? Days Gone's gonna come out next fucking month. And maybe that'll end up being fucking good, but it's like and by this point, last month, I already picked my favorite game of the fucking year, which is God of War. Yeah. Like by this point,
you're trash because you know Kingdom Hearts is definitely a contender.
No, I'm not. There we go.
I played 2 Kingdom Hearts. I am not playing another Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah. So far, game of the year.
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Game of the year this year.
It's gonna be game of the year, bro.
And I said I didn't say that there's not been a good game to come out.
Till Animal Crossing comes along.
Sure, for you.
No one gives a fuck about Animal Crossing.
A lot of people do.
You're fucking wrong. Everyone loves Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I know it's popular, but it's just like I can't. There's so much shit that they're planning on releasing this year that Animal Crossing might get forgotten. I'm not saying that's because the game's gonna be bad or anything, but how the fuck is that QTS shit gonna compete with all the shit?
Listen, like you don't understand. Animal Crossing is very much, very well loved. Like
talking about religion.
Those fans. Like anyone who's played Animal Crossing absolutely loves it. Like that's one of Nintendo's like big actual games.
The one thing I will say though is that with the Switch, they can do some really new shit with it. I know right now they just came out with or they didn't come out with it. I think it's just like some kind of picture or whatever. But they have the Virtual Boy Labo with the Nintendo Switch now. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah, so what you build cardboard shit, right?
Yeah, exactly. But it's like it's with the Switch now, so it's like okay, now people are gonna be trying to use that for whatever fucking thing. They can, like probably Fortnite. I wouldn't be surprised.
No, they're not. They're gonna forget about it in a week, like every other peripheral.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
The Labo was selling actually big time.
It was selling like fucking crazy. Some fucking reason.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone's gonna do peripherals right, it's gonna be Nintendo, man. Like their consoles are fucking peripherals. I mean, the Switch itself is a goddamn peripheral. You know what I mean? Like I highly look at that like it's a fucking actual console. Like they kind of given that shit up since before the Wii. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but with all that stuff said, man, it's just I hope that like with Ganja, man, and it's so weird that we actually agree on video games for once. But yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3, and that should tell you something right there, Alan. You know, me and Ganja like completely different things, and we both love that fucking game.
Look,
we're arguing over Resident Evil 2.
Yeah,
y'all can enjoy that, and by all means. And when I say personally, I didn't say there's not been a single good release this year. I'm saying there's not been a game that's been out in the last 3 months that I've enjoyed. I'm not playing Kingdom Hearts. I fucking almost pulled my goddamn hair.
Playing Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Fuck no.
I play that either.
So when we do Game of the Year, can Alan really give an award to it then?
I'm not good. Well, yeah, there's gonna be. I'm hoping
because so far I played every game that's a contender so far.
You played every game that's been a contender, except for I was gonna say Animal Crossing, except for Kingdom Hearts. So have I. You have not played Metro. Metro is definitely gonna be people's game of the years. Are you kidding me?
I gotta wait for Metro because I want to play it on PC.
Yeah,
it is on PC.
No, I gotta wait. I gotta want to upgrade my PC for that.
Oh, what are you talking about? We have the same fucking rig. It's gonna run it. What are you talking about?
Why are you arguing about his PC? God damn it!
I built it with him.
Jesus.
He built it with his own bare hands, Diaz.
God damn.
I know the specs.
But here's the thing. We're moving on from that, man. And one thing I want to bring up.
He knows my specs.
Stupid ass. So this is one of those things where, I mean, we're probably not going to make a lot of jokes. People, I'm just kind of curious what everyone else thinks
I hope
here.
not.
Yeah. But yeah, apparently there's a fucking game called Rape Day. Yeah, Rape. Now, I saw this a couple times, like on Google and Polygon and Eurogamer.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this is not real. Or this is one of those things, just like, you know, get people talking, blah, blah. Well, it got so real, in fact, that Steam's like, hey, we had this. We were, like, actually moderating, or not moderating, but we call it thing. Like,
oh, they finally started moderating their games. Wow, that's a first.
Well, like, it was, they put it in the zone where, like, they were just like, hey, we're checking it. It's pending. That's the word I was looking for. They're pending.
But they don't moderate. What they do is the users, they depend on people that actually use Steam to go through, check these games out. So when you're like profile for new video games, be like, yeah, I'm just going to go here and just report 200, 2,000. Yeah, this is not, I don't think this game should be here. And that's kind of how they've been doing it so far. And it seems like this one kind of got a lot of edgelords happy. And like, oh, man, we're going to play a game about rape because, you know, it's just a video game, man. It's
so educational.
Yeah, I don't know, but I haven't heard that defense yet.
Oh my God, I've heard so much. Because the thing is someone posted in Children of Toast, and it's like, yo, don't read the comments. I'm like, of course I'm gonna fucking read the comments. It's a bunch of I'm waiting for the idiots that are sending this shit. And you see so many people that are. I love how people love to throw the word free speech around, but don't actually understand what it means. Steam isn't a government organization. They can put whatever they want on their platform with the discretion that they fucking choose. And I don't know if any of y'all remember this, because people were comparing. It was like, well, GTA lets you do mass murder, but that's always been an option in the game. Do you guys remember the last time this fucking happened? I don't know if y'all remember. Do you guys remember the game Hatred?
Yeah, I remember this. Yeah.
This exact same thing happened.
I'll take it back further. Hey, Nick, Alan, I think Jen probably remembers these because she probably going to a swap shops and shit. Yeah, how many games that were like on adult section only that you will find swap shops or these like little bodega game stores, and they would sell these like fake discount CD-ROM discs that would play in your PlayStation 2, and it was designed to run for PS2, but it never got approved by Sony or any of the big publishers. This is something that's always happened.
Yeah, rated A+ or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, what was it? A Playboy game was one of those.
Yeah, but that one got approved, but that was mostly because of I'm talking about those more real raunchy games.
Yeah, okay, well, like because sometimes it's like a rhythm game, but with your dick. But now we're I mean, like honestly, dude, I don't think this Rape Day game was a rhythm game. I think it was you want to see rape. You know what I mean?
No, I'm saying it's in the same vein of like you can try to police it all you want, but people are going to make these fucked up games.
They are, but it's Steam's right to do whatever the fuck they want on their platform. And when you read through some of the comments, because I'm not gonna fucking look at a video of this shit, fuck that. I got better things to do with my time. People were mentioning that this isn't even like a game. This is just a bunch of poorly rendered models with a bunch of fucking cutscenes. Like apparently it's just the equivalent of a visual novel.
Yeah.
Apparently that's what people say, because I'm not gonna go out of my way to sit there and study this fucking bullshit game that's gonna get forgotten in about a fucking week. It's just controversy for controversy's sake, so that they can get a bunch of people, unfortunately like us, to talk about it, and now a bunch of people go, well, I gotta check it out to know what the fuck they're talking about. It's the exact same thing as the fucking game Hatred.
Sure, I got a question, man. Yeah. How do y'all feel about video game censorship then?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask really too. Yeah, like
because it's not too much censorship because it's a private company. You're right, but go ahead, Nick.
No, I mean, well, it's basically just me asking you guys, like, what do you guys think about it? Because for me personally, before you guys continue, I guess you can just base off what I'm going to say, is, like, I don't believe in censorship for anything that's, you know, paid for. But there's certain things that, like, for instance, the fact that, because when you read the story, you find out that, like, Steam was having this on pending for a long time, just to double check to see, like, man, we got to find something that makes this okay to sell because money. And these fucking weirdos who play, and I'm sorry if I'm calling you out, Jeb, but, like, you know, Dream Daddy and shit. There's some motherfuckers out there that watch bird dating sims gameplays and shit. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. And Steam knows they'll make money out those fucking people because they're going to stay inside their house and they keep jerking off. And, you know, boners create money. But the thing is, though, is the fact that they even try to. It's like the fucking game has rape in the name. Yeah. Like, how the fuck do you even slightly attempt to see that? It's like, whether or not you censor something or decline something, the fact that you even gave it a chance, the fact that's even slightly legible to even maybe be on your platform is some bullshit. Like, that's frustrating. And people know that. That's why these guys actually even attempted. Because they're like, man, I've seen some silly shit on Steam. I've seen some fucked up shit on Steam. I could probably get away with this. And I don't blame them for thinking that. Because Steam is fucking ridiculous. There's a game where you date cats. You play this dude and you fuck cats. Like, it's ridiculous. Why is that allowed and Rape Day isn't? They both should be gone.
that was also one of the situations where people compare it to all sorts of other bullshit. But I guess it's equivalent of, imagine if GTA was called Murder Kill Boner. Like, yeah. I don't think that would really get into stores either.
I mean, you guys wouldn't like me. I would get a lot of that lowly shit out of there. All those like really suggestive video game, like those dating sims. Those would, like if I control censorship, those would be gone at this point. Because my problem is not like with the dating sims or any of that stuff. My problem is with the genre itself and its love of just pumping out the lowly stuff. And all these girls are quote unquote immortals, but they're drawn to look like they're 16 or 15. Like, I know what the fuck y'all doing. Like, I'm not a fucking idiot. Anybody that's got a brain knows that they're just trying to skirt by the laws, using, you know, freedom of speech as a way to skirt by and sell you kind of kiddie porn in the most justifiable way possible, so people can enjoy themselves in the most sycophantal way. But at the end of the day, it's like, how far are you going to go censorship? Because someone could still say that about that, but then you get like a real hardcore Christian that don't want to mind their business, and they ban like regular data sim games or ban the sims themselves because they have a sex mod available for it,
or ban anything that might be considered as like. It's a version. It's a one of those slippery slopes, because it's like, well, okay, it's easy to say, well, anything with rape immediately, hey, let's get it out. But there are people that are arguing we're okay with mass murder. What's up?
Lord Lock is dropping the knowledge right now.
Yeah, it's in the story on the Polygon story that I posted. But yeah, like there's a part where and people were talking about in the forums. This dude kills a girl and kills her her newborn infant after he rapes her. And this is supposed to be in a zombie apocalypse, so it's like, I guess the game's trying to say like, oh well, it's fucked up, it's apocalypse, so that's the context of what's going on here. Right. But I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, no, that's still not cool. And the fact that, you know, people who played this game because they're like, oh yeah, rape, they still made them uncomfortable because they're like, okay, rape's okay, right? But the newborn thing, you can't kill babies. It's like, oh, no, fuck you. It's all bad. Like,
yeah, but again, it's one of those situations where it's like censorship sometimes is in the eye of the beholder, because then you get situations where it's like people are trying to censorship education to a certain degree. So it's like, I don't think anyone's sitting there saying that we should allow rape day on there, but it's like the question of what is the limit? It honestly will change depending on who the fuck's in charge of the censorship. Because yeah, hey, we got rid of all the fucking those garbage dating sims. We got rid of rape day. Okay, homeboy goes and gets a new job. Conservative freaking guy goes in and goes, wait, what the hell? Red Dead? No, fuck that. We're not having that on our platform. You're saying they're shooting people in the face. Like, that's unfortunately the slippery slope that they can live in. And it's like, again, you're sitting there having a conversation with someone. It's like shooting someone in the head, rape. How do you sit there and say this is fine, this isn't? That's a lot of the arguments that are people that are getting.
I'm kind of on Dayham's side. Like, of course, the communists are going to be on the side of like sensible censorship. But fuck yeah, sometimes you got to do that for society to get better. But in terms of like reasonable censorship, I think we can all agree on certain aspects. I think it depends on who's making the laws. If we're talking about a more liberal educational society, because I don't trust the government in charge now, Donald Trump administration, all the crazy Christians in charge, that's just going to go chaotic. You don't want them to do that. But a more like liberal society and a more society that understands certain arts should be allowed in certain aspects. But in terms of like what's to be marketed for kids and easily acceptable by the mainstream audience, I think there should be more censorship on certain things. Like, I like that some private companies aren't allowing Nazi games on there, or just straight up all like, just race baiting video games on there, like you see from the old Flash days. That some websites cater to that. But I don't want those websites taken down now, because you have Steam, which goes out of its way to censor all that shit out. And it's basically the place to go get actual video games or certain things that you might enjoy that might scale the level a little bit, but don't go all the way like Rape Day or the Master Shooter game. But I also think you should have outlets for those games to be there, because unless you have outlets for that type of stuff, one, you don't get people that can watchdog these motherfuckers and see who goes too far and actually goes between that. It's kind of like why I don't want to get rid of 4chan and a bunch of these websites, and a lot of activists don't want to get rid of them because we get to watch them and keep track of them a lot easier. And I think if you do that with these Flash games, it keeps them in one place, and you know the people that go there already, and you know where the links and you know how the cookies work for that website. You can easily identify these people in terms of like who might be a future danger. But in terms of like the general audience, I think some censorship is needed.
Yeah, and I'm gonna ask Jet really quick too. Is like, I mean, as far as like when someone's pushing the edge with this stuff, or really trying to just kind of like, well, wait, like push the envelope, I guess. Yeah. Do you feel like context or any kind of like is there anything redeemable about these things? Like, I know it's like it's Rape Day, so it's fucked up. But let's just say it wasn't that bad, and it wasn't like taking it that far as Rape Day did. Still, these fucked up games, can you redeem it with a quality or something of that nature? Like, could you get those things a chance, Jet?
Absolutely not. There's literally no reason why it should have been made. Like, or just at a table just phone. Like, you know what would be really entertaining to you know what? To just have to do with a lot of free speech and whatever. And if anyone opposes this, then they're basically stomping on my free speech. A game about killing and rape. Like,
yeah.
Who actually wants to go out of their way to play something like that? And if they are, they're fucking weirdos. Like, there's nothing doable about this. That doesn't even sound fun. Like, all the shit that you wanted that has to do with like all that extra like crime shit you can do in Grand Theft Auto without the fucking rape shit.
That's
like,
what I get worried about.
You want to go that extra edge and like fuck shit over, like fuck up women and stuff like that because you're going to be like, oh, this happened. This would definitely happen in a zombie apocalypse or some shit. Like, no, but basically what you're doing is you want to teach a whole bunch of people like what they should be doing in a zombie apocalypse and shit. And just like, no, if a zombie apocalypse happens, like, hopefully people will be smart and not do this dumbass shit.
Well, not only that, like Julian's saying, GTA 5 is a murder and torture simulator. Yeah, if you turn it into that. Like, even the
no, you have no choice, though. There's a
I was just about to go into the Trevor scene. The terms of, like, the way that is portrayed, he's kind of portrayed as a fucking asshole. Like, that is portrayed in dark, murderous, and as dark as it's supposed to be. And even with Manhunt 2 and the other Manhunt games, they are murder simulators, but the characters are fucking despicable people. They're lieutenant sociopaths and psychopaths. The story kind of justifies in the sense that these motherfuckers are the worst peons. You're not supposed to support them. Where it seems like a lot of these games, especially the lowly games and a lot of these murder rape simulators, you're either playing a quote-unquote protagonist within these games where it's justified by the story around it. Like, it's okay, you're doing this.
Okay, but I think one of the biggest things is when people are talking about that, specifically that Trevor scene in GTA 5. Well, first, GTA 5 doesn't start off with that. GTA 5 doesn't start off with you randomly, like, torturing some dude in a fucking basement. True. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in that game to give you context of the entire fucking world before it gets into the deeper and darker stuff. Like, a lot of video games, they build up to that. Again, hatred and rape day, that's the premise. There's no build up. There's nothing. So even in the situation of quote unquote context, which some people love to fucking argue, no, in some cases it's in the fucking title. So the situation they're just doing that because they know if they push the envelope, they're gonna be on news outlets, and even if they only get like fucking 1,000 people that'll buy it, that's 1,000 times whatever, and it's like, hey, maybe they make some fucking money off of it. And that's why I don't like those comparisons to other video games. And I feel like Nick was eventually gonna bring up the topic of like, well, GTA and Mortal Kombat push the envelope every fucking game that they put out.
Yeah. Like,
look at the gore between 9 and 11. It is like night and fucking day, the level of fucking difference. But I think it's like, part of me is thinking they're just pushing the envelopes until someone tells them to stop.
Yeah, because that's the thing that I get worried about. It's like, there's so many situations that we see that's fucked up in all these games. I mean, dude, in Vice City, there's a scene where you are an ice cream truck and you sell Coke. You know, in the city and shit. Yeah. It's like, you know, and it even has like a nice happy little meter of like, yo, you sold a bunch of drugs. Fuck yeah, get them all hooked on it. You know, and it's like, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, this is kind of crazy. Like, you know, Julian, I'm not gonna like argue with Julian or fight over this, but you know, he's saying like, yo, it's art. You know, you should fucking let them create what they want to create. But you're creating a problem. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know how rape's art.
Like, you want to sit there and watch a game, like sit there and play a game where you can literally see someone get raped. Like, there's been games like that in the past. Like there's been Japanese games where basically like you're on a goddamn like bus and whatever, and you're basically like feeling up these random girls and shit. And like that was
how is that art? Like, my thing is like, how is that really art?
Like, no, that's not art. Like, literally anyone can do that. That's why that's so fucking dangerous. It's unlike GTA. Like, how many people are going to be driving, like, a fucking, like, truck full of fucking drugs? Not very many people. Rape? Anyone could do that. That's why it's so fucking dangerous.
Yeah, and, like, the fact that these people are at their house playing... I mean, dude, we're living in a community where a dude lost at a Madden NFL game and shot a competitor and killed many people with a fucking rifle. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, let's try to, like, not really, you know... I guess entice that kind of behavior. You know what I mean? Like,
well, the thing is we're not necessarily, like, Jet has kind of a point though. Like, video games, like, one of the things that make video games both incredible and dangerous is the ability to live out things that we're never going to be able to live out anyway. And she brings up the point, like, one of the reasons I'm afraid of driving is because I grew up playing GTA. I am terrified of fucking driving. But that's just me. And driving is very difficult. Driving is not something anyone can do. You got to get access to a car first of all.
Yeah.
You got to do all this other stuff. Like, even harming or hurting someone takes a lot of effort. But it's like one of the dangers, and like you said, it's like, yeah, doing that, sexual assault, rape, do all those shit, isn't that difficult. So if people are getting their fantasies in there, it's like, I think there is a distinction between sexually assaulting someone and actually murdering someone. I think there's a distinction there that's why it probably was way more accepted in our society of, you know, the hero killing the villain versus anything else that ends up happening.
And the thing is, like, I'm gonna be completely, you know, I'll be honest, maybe I'm wrong, you know, but it's just like I'm cool with being wrong because I have my idea of what I think is acceptable or not. And it's like, you know, video games and movies are not too different from each other. If we have movies like L, they're about rape, and the movie starts off with the grinding and the moaning and the "Al, please get off me" of rape, and before the credits roll, it's like, okay, if that's allowed in that form of media, maybe I'm wrong for the video game shit, like, you know, about the video game stuff. But it's like, if they did in one thing and no one complained, then I guess it's like whatever with the game shit. But it should be eliminated from both. I don't think that anything should be glorifying rape. Even if it was an art museum and there's a picture of a girl, like, getting fucked and she's not, like, you know, wanting it. It's like, in any form of anything, that should not be allowed. In music,
like, even then, like, not to defend L or whatever, because it's a shit ass movie. Like, even then with L, like, you're basically watching the movie through, like, the victim, like, going through with, like, the victim. This one, you're literally playing as the rapist, and it's just like, what the fuck?
And yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, well, at least what the movie has this quote unquote justification is you see the victim and you go through her struggle dealing with the outcome and how it fucks her up mentally. Well, this one, it's a video game, so it's way different than just like passive art, like a movie, a painting, a picture. Me and Alan have talked about this several times. It changes and you actually have control over it. Yeah. So you are more of a protagonist in this rape scenario than you are watching an actual pro rape movie, quote unquote, that might exist out there, because you in the end of the day are making these actions happen. Whereas, for example, if you're watching, like, you go to a war museum and then you see, like, the raping king or some shit, and you see those, like, Japanese soldiers raping people, you're not there. This is a different time period, and you're seeing the brutality of what humans can do to each other. You have no control. This is a different time period. If you wanted to do with all your power to try to change the scenario you see in this photo, you can't do it, because this is a time and place of where humans have been brutal to each other. Where this is so much more makes you a protagonist in the actual action being occurred, that it comes up to the thought of, is censorship more valid for this term of media? And honestly, I think that some films that are out there that are just there to push for brutality and show the fucking sex a fan thinks that they can show just because quote unquote art and is pushing for provoking an emotion should be censored, because I don't think you're provoking emotion in terms of a deep introspective thought about the human condition. You're just trying to either freak people out or get certain people off that like that type of brutality. And I think there's nothing wrong with that type of censorship when it comes to that shit, because there's no real purpose except brutal entertainment.
Yeah.
And again, like, I gotta go.
For the same reason we don't allow brutal combat on TV.
Yeah, like letting, like, visually seeing it, because you can almost, like, you're watching a movie, you can almost, like, separate yourself, you can go to something else. When you have the actual control over the game, that's why I'm saying it's the best and most dangerous part, because it's like you are controlling whatever the hell's going on in those scenes. That's why video games give us such emotional fucking catharsis and also hatred, because, like, we are those people, we are those characters. So it's not saying that certain subjects are impossible to do, because I think in a movie, like, we tackle all sorts of subjects from all sorts of time periods. But if it's the difference between something being done well and something just being done for grotesque, like, oh, I'm just doing it, how we argue "Call Me by Your Name" versus fucking L, we could argue those in completely different ways, but those are two very, very taboo fucking subjects that we have conversations about all the fucking time. But they tackle them in very different ways, and we break those down as we say one is like glorifying, or one is just up the artist's own ass. But then maybe we can break down some stuff, like if it's done well, or at least there's something idea behind it, there are certain subjects we can talk. This isn't one of them. This isn't one of those games we should be propping up to defend censorship or free fucking speech. This is one of those games that fucking shits on people that want to censorship. Like,
this is my problem, because Julian's mentioned you gotta let people fail. It's not censorship. You gotta let people deal with the backlash. Most of the time, these people just want the backlash to get the attention, because when they start dealing with the negative backlash, like the motherfuckers I deal with in the streets sometimes, and people start beating the fuck out of them for doing this shit, or actually taking them to court, or actually suing them on the grounds that they are promoting this type of behavior, they start throwing around that free speech idea. It's just art. Most of the time, they're just trying to be edgelords and are using freedom of speech and the idea of art as a shield, and to make you guys come and defend them. You do not want these people on your side, because the minute they get power, they will get rid of your censors. They will censor you, and they won't be honest about it like I am.
Like, I'm sorry, but, like, I'm not specifically trying to call out Julian, calling out the people that are defending the free speech argument. People love to defend free speech until it offends them. Until it's something that they think it crosses the line. It's like, well, oh, now you're crossing that. No, that line is too far now. You weren't saying that a fucking second ago when there was this situation. Like, that's one of my problems with people arguing, oh, it's free speech. It's only that until you are offended, and that pisses me the fuck off.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll move on for now. I don't want to get too deep with it. And I'm sorry if I did offend anybody that looks at this the other way, because all four of us are like totally, you know, we agree with each other.
The game fucking sucks.
No, but yeah, it's just it's crazy. It's just I can't believe people, because there's a lot of people that defend this shit and
fucking nasty.
But moving on from this,
fucking trash.
It's time for some goddamn reviews of
Fuck
this.
you, Steam.
Alan Shake Zine, my boy, Metro
What's up?
Exodus. Oh yeah, no, it doesn't deserve to be called its actual fucking name, because Exodus is a game that everyone's.
No, it does. It doesn't deserve to be have fun with the name by calling it Exodus. So I'm gonna be calling Exodus the entire fucking time because I'm really, really fucking disappointed with this game. This is gonna be number 5. What's right. Oh yeah, no, I beat it the other day. I think last week.
All right, but go ahead though. Yeah, I can tell you're already ready. I'll push him forward and go at it. What's going on with this, man?
So this is gonna be on my, I think, number 5 on my most disappointed. Like usually when I do my worst out games, it's just like I'm pretty good at knowing what games. Like I don't play every single game that comes out the year because I could generally look at a game and tell whether or not I'm going to enjoy it. And so usually my worst of list is just my most disappointed of list. If you check out, you know, like the years prior. But Metro is one of those games where I was super fucking excited because I love the first two. Metro 2033 and Metro Last Light are some of the best fucking games I've played in a long time. They're basically just first-person post-apocalyptic games. You're going underground in the fucking subway and tunnels, and there's so much interesting stuff to do with history, that to do with survival, that to do with horror, that to do with all the stuff where you're always feeling claustrophobic. Unfortunately, the company that eventually that made the games just to them because they're part of THQ, and I thought the series was dead. I was like, well, you know what? They made 2 good games. That's over. Then a few years ago, Microsoft was like, yo, no, don't worry. We got one more Metro coming out. And I was super fucking excited, and I bought it the second I could. And from the moment I started playing it, I'm like, ooh, it's not meshing well. Something just doesn't feel well. Like the shooting and all the stuff, the shooting, the sound, the scavenging, the ammo, everything there is perfect. Everything there works. The problem with the game is their attempt at trying to do an open world. And it's in the same sense of, Nick, have you actually played God of War, or are you just like looking at the cutscenes and not doing anything about it?
Honestly, at this particular point, I'd rather watch it on YouTube. I've watched
no,
more
you
on
actually
YouTube
played
than
it,
I've actually played it. Yeah.
So, but no, yeah, have you actually like legit played it for an hour? Like,
wait, fuck you. Yes, I played it for like 7. Okay. I'm not like you and that quit after 1 hour, bitch.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Whatever. Say what you want. I'm sure you use the hex code to get past that hour. But if you notice the actual level designs. If you notice how the actual game works, is there's a linear story that drags you like a fish on a hook. There's the ejective point there, and you're walking. But if you stand still, you're in a big open world that, hey, every now and then you can find something to upgrade your health. There might be a little side quest that you get a little bit of a story between you and the character. That's kind of how Metro does its open world. You're being put on a train, and you're going to a destination to figure out a place to live. That's the basic premise of the story. And every level you go into is a wide open world that kind of just lets you go around finding bandit caps, upgrades to your weapons, different guns, all that jazz. The problem is that dilutes the story so much that the interesting set pieces that the series is known for either rarely show up or just aren't even there. And it's sometimes often very confusing to figure out where the fuck you're supposed to go, because they give you a compass, but the compass tells you where you're supposed to go straight. But it doesn't dictate if you're supposed to go around a wall, go up some stairs, go down some stairs, take a left, go underneath. So I spent an hour and a half stuck in a warehouse I could barely see because the flashlight didn't want to fucking work, and night vision just works whenever the fuck it wants to. So there's just so many of these problems that the open world causes because some of the writing is still there and some of the set pieces are still there. Every now and then they'll have a straight linear level, and it's fucking awesome. You fight a bunch of cannibals, and it's just a giant shootout. It's fucking amazing. But then you go into this giant open world, and you just like, it just feels empty. It feels like it's open world for open world's sake. And it bothered me so much because it's like, this isn't a Metro game to me. This is just a discount Far Cry game. Until the very last level, which is basically underground, claustrophobic. You know, it's very dark, but it's in a way you can still see what's going on. There's monsters that just pop out from all sorts of areas. And that's the closest thing I ever got to a Metro game was the last level of the fucking game. And I know Lord in the chat just said Exodus isn't an open world game. It kind of is. It's open world in the same sense that God of War and the Tomb Raider games are.
But wait, God of War's not open world either.
Okay, but no. I said open world in the same way as those games are, because as I was going to explain, when you look at open world games, the first people think of is GTA. You go to a mission that says L on it, you do the mission for Lester, and The mission finishes, mission complete, and then you can go off to do whatever. That's what we generally associate with open world. The thing about open world versus a linear game, like let's compare GTA to Wolfenstein. When you're in Wolfenstein, you load up your level, you go through, it's generally a corridor, you finish the level, and then you move on. There's no ability for you to do any sort of anything else. You're just going through the motions, and then the level dictates what's going on. That gives them ability to do set pieces, like in the Uncharted games. Those games are hyperlinear. That lets you do cool missions, like lets you do cool set pieces, because they know where the character is going to be at all times. There's no room to maneuver. This game extends the levels to make them so big that lets you scavenge and lets you actually explore more so than any of the other games, and it does it to its detriment.
Yeah, I'm surprised to hear. Like, I mean, I have a completely different idea of what open world is with you though, but I think I see what you're talking about in the sense of like, yeah, it does look like a lot like God of War. I will say though, later on with God of War, you do get in certain areas where it becomes more open when you have enough room for like, okay, you know what, I've upgraded all these abilities, I've pretty much seen past all these options I have for gameplay styles. Now it's time to have fun. Does Metro do that in a sense where it's like it's very, very linear because it wants to get you to a certain path where you don't fuck with what the system's already kind of decided for you, and then when you finally have everything at least somewhat kind of like as spot, you can start like having fun shooting people, respawn fucking enemies, etc.
To a certain degree, because like when you first play one of the bigger places, it teaches you like this is how the game's going to be. There's different objective markers. There's different. That's where I kind of know. So I'm like, wait, this is really small for an open world game. No, it's just the levels are fucking ballooned. But at the end of it, when you finish the story, you're moved on, and you never get to go back. You don't. You just move on to the next thing, and that's one of the staples of linear games, where until you do a chapter select or until you do whatever, you can't go back. You're not allowed to go back into the last level to do whatever. That's what Wolfenstein has, where it's like, hey, until you pick a chapter select, you can't really go back. And that, to me, that's one of the definitions of a linear game. It's a linear-ass story that doesn't branch, that doesn't really do any sort of branching in any way, shape, or form. It just continues on like a fish on a hook. You're just going along the range. It's just for some games like Tomb Raider and God of War, and this game is just the area you're in is a little bit, and it's not as fast doing that. That's why he kind of pretends like, wait, is this a linear game or is this an open world game? That's where you get kind of like that weird blend that we're doing nowadays. But I think that some games do it very, very well. Rise of the Tomb Raider and God of War do it very, very well. That still manage to have a good story with set pieces. Metro does it, and I think it's because they've never done this before. That this is the first time they've ever tried to do this weird hybrid, and unfortunately it does not work. I don't want to give it a low-ass rating, like something like, oh, it was a horrible waste of my time. But honestly, I can't give this anything more than a 6 out of 10.
Really?
I just was frustrated throughout the most of the game because just trying to figure out where the fuck I'm supposed to go, it being super dark, and none of the fucking systems for lighting ever worked. This fucking infuriating underground section in which I got to find this fucking satellite map, and I'm just running. The enemies there are super hard to fucking kill. The fucking level design is confusing as shit. It doesn't actually explain what the fuck you're ever supposed to do at any given time. And I'm just sitting there almost pulling my hair out looking at YouTube videos trying to figure out how to get past this sequence. It was fucking infuriating. So honestly, don't buy this. Like, go buy Metro 2033 and Last Light. They're always on sale. Those are way better games.
Yeah, man. Well, it really does suck. I do want to play this game. I've seen Chris Herman play this a lot on his fucking Class and Glass or whatever the fuck that shit's called.
Sure.
Which is actually really good. The thing is, though, we're going to have another review on here, but the thing is, our boy isn't here, Mr. Julian Dingleberries. So we're getting the fuck out of here with that shit. Yeah. But yeah, definitely maybe next week. He'll probably talk about Ape. I forgot what the fuck it's called again.
Ape Out.
Ape Escape.
Yeah, Ape Escape. I want to talk about Ape Escape, man. Shit, I'll play the fuck out of that again.
Oh, I know what Ape Out is, man. That's just trash.
But anyways, guys, we're getting the fuck out of here. So, Mr. Ganja Guru, why don't you tell people what they should look forward to on that Saturday, sir?
Well, we do the Midnight Chat Attack every Saturday on the Twitch, YouTube, and the Facebook streams now. We everywhere coming at you so hard, so hardcore as well. And that's going to be every Saturday, 7:30, 8:30, 9:30 CST time. When we get started, we will give you notifications in the Mino on the Facebook. Anyway, we get in contact with you. Matter of fact, we got to bring down Mino back out. We haven't been on there for a while. That shit is dead at the moment, which we are going to revive again, bring it back to its 24-hour status because we missed you guys. It's just we had you guys in a bunch of other chats. We got a lot of things planning, and I'll probably bring that stuff later on as it gets more and more solid. So keep posted on that. Alan, tell them about the Illuminati podcast.
Yeah, so if you go to, in order to actually get to all this information, if you go to Facebook and type in Midnight Chat Attack, that leads you to our Facebook page. That's where all the information, all the links to our shows, to our Twitch channel, to our Facebook. Sorry, why would you be here today? To our Twitch, to our YouTube, to the Amino, where we post all the information, our upcoming shows, to the link to the Illuminati podcast, where me and Ganja and Ruthless, we talk about all sorts of shit. There's a new episode that recently came up. Be sure to check that out if you're interested in the Michael Cohen case. I said Illuminati this time. I only said that once during a recording, but we got that out.
But the Illumination.
I know, I fucked that up. And also, if you're interested in hearing me incoherently babble about all sorts of news stories, I'm also doing a lot of stuff on oneofus.net. There will be the Breakfast Pub podcast that will be up. That'll be sometime this week. I'm always doing the Gotham stuff, so be sure to check that out. Final Days of Gotham, and there's all sorts of screener reviews that I'm being a part of. Stop! I'm saying these words right.
No, you're saying I'm wrong as fuck, but it's okay. I love you.
Okay,
very
never
much.
mind. I stand by my words that I mispronounced.
People, we're gonna fuck out of here. We're talking about the after hours and everything. We still do those on Saturday nights right after the show. You can go ahead and join us on MCA Rabbit. That is rad.if/MCA Rabbit. Go in there, hang out with us. It'll be fucking fun. The ribbit. They don't know. I don't think they make any other noises actually. Just boing and then ribbit.
I don't think rabbits actually make noises.
Oh, damn frogs.
3, 2,
1. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. Just type the chat. Good lord. I didn't know what to say. I thought we were talking about frogs. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
I'm pretty sure rabbits go ding 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 ding.
No, those are frogs.
It basically. I really wish I had Elvis Jones on the show.
Fuck that.
I have to go pee though. I'm gonna fuck out of here.
I would just drop acid and talk comedy.
I'm not talking now.